want to welcome our audience today to one of the highest rated television shows on in Western Kentucky. And today we've got another great special guest that you're going to enjoy listening to and get a lot of really good information. It'll be very helpful to a lot of young people in Western Kentucky and Paducah, McCracken County in particular. I want to welcome Dr. Lisa Stephenson. She is the Director of K-12 Partnerships here at West Kentucky Community and Technical College. And Dr. Stephenson, we really appreciate you taking your time. I know you're really busy, especially right now, to be with us to talk about the Community Scholarship Program. I think it's one of the neatest things and the greatest things and beneficial programs to come along in Western Kentucky in a long time. And first of all, could you tell the audience what is the Community Scholarship Program and why is it important?
Thank you, Gerald, for having me. The Community Scholarship Program was created as a public-private program sponsored by Paducah Rotary and reached out then to McCracken County government, Paducah City government, as well as about 8 other donors in the McCracken County area to come together to raise the funds so that no student who graduates from a McCracken County high school can ever use the excuse, I can't pay for college, not to go to college. This scholarship provides what we call gap funding for those students who meet eligibility requirements. That means that their KEYS money, other scholarship money, and other financial aid will apply first, and then this scholarship will cover any tuition balance that that student may have. So for some students who have full financial aid, they do not receive any money from this scholarship program, while others would receive full tuition funding from this program. And then you have those that receive different amounts, some as low as $30, some then full tuition to pay for that semester at West Kentucky Community and Technical College.
That's really good. When you look at national numbers, the average college graduate graduates with $30,000 worth of debt. And that makes it really difficult for starting graduates who are just getting into the workforce to have that kind of debt hanging over their head when they want to try to buy a home and get started and maybe have a family at some point. So a program like this, it's free for the student, free first 2 years of college, but it's the last dollar in.
It's the last dollar in, yes.
After they exhaust all scholarships and KEYS money and financial aid, the Pell Grants and all, it's just what's left over, right?
It's just what's left over, correct.
But it does give them that opportunity to have 2 years of debt-free college.
Yes.
And graduate or with an associate's degree, a certificate, or a diploma, and then not to incur so much debt by the time if they decide to pursue further education, get a higher degree, they don't have so much debt. So I think that's really important. And it also has increased the percentage of students even going to college in McCracken County. Is that correct?
It has increased that percentage of students who transition to post-secondary ed after high school. The 2 goals of the program initially were to, 1, increase the high school graduation rate in McCracken County, and then increase the transition to post-secondary ed. And this program, early on, we are only into our 3rd cohort of students coming to campus. We are seeing promising data that we are meeting those 2 goals, as well as once those students come here, you're correct, they can leave here without having to take out a student loan to help pay for their college here, and then go on to that 4-year institution if they so choose with that associate's degree, and then if they need a student loan, they could get it for those last 2-3 years of a 4-year degree instead of having to get it the first 2 years.
I think that's a great program. Okay, tell us, how do students enroll and remain eligible for the program through high school? And then also, once they're accepted and out, how do they remain enrolled in the program?
It's a very simple process. We begin enrolling students during the spring semester of their 8th grade year. They have up until October the 1st of their freshman year in high school to complete the enrollment process. form, name, address, date of birth, where you're going to graduate from high school, what year you're going to graduate in. They complete that form, submit it to our office, then they go into the database for CSP, Community Scholarship Program students. During high school, they have to maintain and graduate with a minimum 2.5 GPA. That GPA of a 2.5 allows them to earn some KEYS money while they're in high school, and then keeps them eligible for the program. They have to have 95% cumulative attendance by the time they graduate from high school, and no major discipline referrals. And when we're talking with students about the program, and we talk about the fact that these are business and industry donors that have also contributed to this program, I say to them, nobody wants to hire you if you cannot come to work and you cannot be there on time, or if you can't get along with your coworkers and be a team player. So this encourages that piece into the workforce for those students. Once they graduate from high school and they transition to us, in order to receive this funding, they must come to us the fall semester immediately after high school graduation. They must maintain a 2.5 GPA while they're here to retain the scholarship. The other couple of pieces that we add during the senior year is students must also complete our Introduction to College course, which is a 1 credit hour course that we teach on their high school campus. And for students that are homeschooled in McCracken County, they come and take the course with me during the semester before they come on our campus as an incoming freshman. They have to complete that course, and we waive the tuition for that course. And then the other thing is they have to apply for financial aid, and they have to complete our regular scholarship application. So after those things are completed, we check them off. You're eligible for the funding, transition to us.
Wow. So it is a selective program, but I think it probably has the effect of encouraging a good attendance and good discipline and good study habits, starting in the 8th grade, right?
Yes.
And,
if you ask the principals specifically at McCracken County High School and Paducah Tillman High School, they have said that this scholarship has made a difference in student behavior and student attendance in both of their high schools. Principal Saglinski at McCracken County High School says that when a student gets into has a discipline referral on their campus and he's meeting with the student and or the parent, that many times the first question is what does this do to my scholarship?
Wow. They value it very highly, and,
Yes.
and they should. I think it's a great opportunity for young people because in today's environment, as you know, it's so competitive. And today, I mean, you really have got to have a college degree or have a skilled trade under your belt to really be able to support yourself and a family at this point. It's such a competitive marketplace, and getting a higher education not only benefits you personally, no one can ever take it away from you, but certainly makes you more marketable out there and gives you an opportunity to have a higher income, a higher level of education, no surprise, the correspondingly higher amounts of money that you make during a lifetime, and it's considerable.
Yes.
Yeah, they have a vested interest, and I think those are good requirements, and they're not so much that they're not attainable.
No.
If they make an effort,
Yes.
they can accomplish that. What services does the college provide to the students while they're here at WKCTC?
Once the student is here with us, the college has committed the resources to hire what we call a completion coach, and his name is Justin Hill. He is housed in the Niemer building with me. Justin was hired specifically to work with these students, so once they're on our campus, he is tracking them. The college has an early alert system that we refer to as Starfish. So if you as a faculty member report a student in through that early alert system as missing class, not handing in assignments, failing a test, anything like that, then those notifications go to Justin. Justin then reaches out to the student, and we try the phone call or the email, and sometimes we have to resort to Justin going to find the student in class and having a conversation about what do we need to do. And if that's walking that student over to tutoring, to schedule a tutoring appointment. If that student is having trouble maybe with a financial situation where they're not living with their parents anymore and they're having trouble paying rent and they're having to work more hours, then we try to facilitate helping that student in any way possible. Students are also given a mentor, and not just for CSP students, but all incoming new students at the college have to take what we call Achieving Academic Success course. And so they are all enrolled in that, and the faculty in those courses serve as a point of contact for them to get their next semester schedule done, plan that career pathway, that pathway to a four-year institution. So we have a variety of services. A service that hasn't been used very much by this group of students, but we hope that that will change, is we do have a summer bridge program. So if a student graduates from high school and does not meet the ACT placement benchmarks to take a college credit-bearing class, they could come to the summer bridge program that's offered through Adult Ed for free, and brush up on those skills that they need to get placed to take the assessment test again, and then hopefully place into a college credit-bearing course.
Well, that's great. It's a far change from 30 years or so
Exactly.
ago. When students, I remember you used to walk into a college classroom and your professor might say, well, look around because by midterm, half of you will be gone.
Exactly.
You know, it seemed like the objective was to see how many people they could flunk or get rid of rather than salvage. And sometimes all a person needs is a little encouragement. If they're first-time college students, you know, I didn't go to college till I was 23 years old. I didn't have any money, didn't know money was available. I didn't know if I could pass the first class. And sometimes it takes a mentor or a coach to help you acclimate to the college environment and realize and give you the confidence that, hey, you can do this, you know.
Many of our students come to us. Of course, they're still teenagers, so they behave as teenagers sometimes. They're not used to being in a classroom where you need to be on time, you can't be on your phone, you can't be talking to your neighbor all the time and disrupting class. So that adjustment sometimes is even hard for them. And where do they go for help? A lot of them just don't know where the starting point would be. And so that's part of the job that Justin and I try to do with these students, is make sure they know where they can go for help.
Yeah, and I would say that Justin probably has really good compliance. He's about 6'5" tall and looks like an NFL linebacker.
Yes.
And so
He is. I am known as the mother. He is known as the brother to these students. And when some of them are very fearful. They've told us that when they see Justin come in, they think they're in trouble. But and a lot of times they're not in trouble, but they see him and they think that. So,
Justin and yourself, both of you do a great job with a great program that's really made a tremendous difference in so many young people's lives. To give them an opportunity to go to college and get a degree and have that career that they never thought they could, and to plug them in. That really is the difference in one staying and graduating and not, isn't it? You don't just sign them up and then say good luck. You know, you're on your own, because the surveys all show that the main reason students stay in college is because they're plugged in. They feel like they belong to something. You know, they've got a mentor. They've got someone they can go to. And additionally, this program tackles the number one reason we also lose students is financial. It takes away that burden and that stress and allows the students to concentrate on their studies more, I think, and gives them a greater opportunity to be successful, because that can be a big challenge.
Yes. One thing I want to add is that we had the question this morning from a student. He graduated from McCracken County last year. He's with us this year. His parents are moving to Marshall County, and he was worried that he would lose his scholarship because they're moving to Marshall County. The requirement is to graduate from a McCracken County high school. So that's Tillman, Paducah Tillman, McCracken County High School, St. Mary Community Christian, or if the student is homeschooled in McCracken County, they're eligible for this program.
Wow. So will he be able to continue to keep his scholarship?
Yes.
Okay, that's
yes.
good. I'm sure he was glad to hear that. Now, y'all have said once a CSP student, always a CSP student. Elaborate on that for us, please.
We'll have those students who graduate from high school that do not meet the 2.5 GPA. Maybe they didn't meet the attendance, or they had various discipline referrals. We've been with them since they've been 8th graders. We've talked to them as freshmen. We've come back into that high school or with that homeschool group and talked to them as sophomores and juniors, and then GEM 100 as a senior. So what we want them to know is if they come here and they did not meet the criteria to receive funding, we are still going to give them the services. We are still going to be here helping with those services for those students. And many times, because that student didn't meet the GPA, they're probably the student that needs that extra help versus the graduate that has a 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's tremendous. Well, I did want to say one thing, that when the group of people with the Rotary Club came up with the idea based on the data and the effort that, we want more students in Paducah and McCracken County going to college and graduating from college to make Western Kentucky, and this county in particular, more attractive to business and industry, because the work preparedness, the education level, the opportunities to advance in your educational attainment, to make them trainable employees, good employees, qualified employees. That's important if you're trying to recruit business and industry here to create job opportunities for young people and for all of us. For those, for too long, too many people have had to leave because all families were adversely affected. They wanted to stay here, they just couldn't find a job that would support a family. And so now, giving people an opportunity to further their education and improve the educational attainment level of the workforce makes us more attractive for businesses, I think. And I was on the Paducah City Commission at the time, and Dwayne Tucker, I guess, kind of, was the brainchild of the Community Scholarship Program. And he appointed me to the Board of Directors, and I served for 2 years and led the charge on the Paducah City Commission to fund, along with McCracken County and the Rotary Club, the Community Scholarship Program. And I think everyone was receptive. I think it's one of the best things we did while I was on the City Commission. The City Commission is still funding every year faithfully to make sure there's money available for the scholarships for the young people around here to continue to be able to go on, and it's been uninterrupted this entire time for these years, and it's going to continue because there's too much support for it in this community, and people are going to give young people an opportunity. And I think that's going to continue, and I want to thank you for all the hard work that you've done. This program would not be the success that it is without your leadership and without all the hard work that you've done. And now with Justin, you got an all-star double team here that kids can't say no.
Well, and we graduated the first class in the spring, big class in the spring of those students. So I think to date we have 38 students who have earned an associate's degree, and something like 22 that have earned a certificate or diploma. And that's one thing. I was at McCracken County 2 weeks ago, and that's one thing that I do want to stress is that the student can work on the degree, okay, but if their goal is to get a certificate, become an EMT. That is a 6 credit hour certificate, and this program will cover that if that's what they want to do. If a student wants to come here and only wants to stay here a year and then transfer to a 4-year institution, we will certainly support that for that student to do that. And we've had 17 that have elected out of that first cohort in 2014 to transfer early. And that's perfectly fine. They can use it for a semester, they could use it for the 60 credit hours or 5 consecutive semesters, whichever comes first. So it gives them some options. They may think they want to be a nurse, but then they get in here and they change their mind. and they want to start with LPN program or nurses aid program, and that's what it's about, is them deciding what they want to do in the future.
That's great. So there's some flexibility, and the students get to follow their heart.
Yes.
It's not a rigid schedule. And, you know, it's been such a success that basically we really use this as a model for statewide legislation that I was proud to support in the Kentucky General Assembly this past session to do this, replicate it statewide. And we passed it in the House, and the Senate passed it on their side, but the governor vetoed the first year. But signed into law the second year. So it's going to happen next year, and we're going to have funding for it. The original funding level was $21 million, but we're going to do this statewide. It's going to happen next year, and we're going to make sure that the funding is there. It's just too important. Kentucky has got to be competitive for new businesses to locate here, and we are. We've done very well, and we have the third best business and climate of all 50 states, according to Site Selection magazine. And so I think it's great for Paducah and McCracken County. It'll be great statewide, and it all started here, and it's a great model for the state and really for the nation, because what's more important than having a well-educated workforce to be able to compete in the 21st century, and not to mention how it changes people's lives and improves them dramatically, and allows them to, it just changes your entire life as far as what you can do with it, and what you can achieve in life. It just opens doors that'll never happen otherwise. And is there anything else you'd like to say about that?
The one thing that you and I have talked before about the state, this being a model for the state, and I think it's excellent that the state of Kentucky is pursuing this. Tennessee has the Tennessee Promise, and it's very similar to what the state of Kentucky looked at, is that you can provide all the money, but you've got to have the services in place when that student steps on that college campus. The tutoring, the mentoring, people in financial aid, advising centers, mental health counselors if needed, accessibility services, all of those things have to be in place so that that student can be successful. We can throw money at a student, but we've got to make them responsible for their education, but also help them to get through that, those policies and procedures and that pipeline that they've never navigated before.
Yeah, and that's such a critical part of the whole program and its success, and we're going to have to go back and redo all the specifics and requirements, and so we need to make sure that we put those in the new language as we move forward to do this statewide. And that's a very good point, because like you said, you may have the money, but if you don't have the support there, you're going to fail them.
Yes.
And so that's just absolutely critical. And I think we are going to have some testimonials from some of your students that'll come up next, and it's pretty exciting to see the end product, isn't it?
It is. It's very exciting. It's very exciting to see those, to walk across the stage, talk about the program, and talk about the success that they've had because of the program.
Yeah, wow. Well, that's very exciting, and I think the audience will enjoy the testimonials, and if anyone in this area would like to be supportive, they can make donations and become a sponsor to the Community Scholarship Program to ensure that the program continues, and there's enough scholarships for all the students who apply. I'm assuming you really have some large numbers of students who apply for this program.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, very good. Well, we want to thank Dr. Lisa Stephenson, again, the Director of K-12 Partnerships here at the college, and she's one of the big reasons why West Kentucky Community and Technical College is the second best two-year community college in the entire nation. Out of over 1,200 two-year community colleges nationwide, our college, I'm proud to work here, and I'm proud to work with Dr. Stephenson, is #2. And we're up again as a finalist. Who knows, we might make #1 this time.
We hope.
We've got a new president, Dr. Anton Reese. Exciting to have him on board, and we're moving forward. And it's programs like the Community Scholarship Program that helped made us the #2 school in the entire nation. And so thank you for
Thank you.
Your hard work and all that you do to make this program a success in changing young people's lives.
Our greatest resources are the young people of our community. But how can we ensure they have the ability to help create a community that is thriving and growing well into the future? How do we develop our future workforce with the skills they will need to compete? The answer? The Community Scholarship Program.
So I really think that this program is definitely going to provide me with the schooling and the education and the ability to be the nurse that I need to be.
The community scholarship is a really big deal to me and my family. Being an engineer is important to me because when I was little, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I saw her search for those solutions and answers, and they just weren't there. I want to be that one person who finds those solutions and answers and give them to the public.
In 2010, through public and private partnerships, the Community Scholarship Program was launched. The goal was simple: increase the number of high school students that transition to college by providing a scholarship for all Paducah-McCracken County graduates.
It was important for me to be at West Kentucky just because it was so close to home, and I already knew a lot of kids that were staying here that I went to high school with. And just being here helps you mature into a better student. When you do transfer off to school, you can be a more mature student because you stayed here. And the CSP scholarship just made that decision much more definite, and I just knew this is where I belong.
I'm studying business administration. I absolutely love it. The program being here is so important to me because it's a good transition into the college life. I plan to transfer to get my bachelor's degree. I plan to go to Georgetown, which is really exciting.
Many students, however, simply don't have the resources to attend college.
As superintendent of McCracken County Public Schools, the greatest barrier that I see for our students to attend college is the cost. The Community Scholarship Program breaks that barrier down for our students and their families.
The CSP scholarship is important to me because if I didn't have it, there would be a burden on me and my family. So with it, it takes the load off of our shoulders.
It would be very, very difficult for my parents to pay for me and my 4 siblings all to go to college.
This scholarship is important to me because it gives me the opportunity to pursue my career in radiology. My parents were living paycheck to paycheck. I wouldn't have been able to come to college without this program.
Paducah-McCracken County is one of a small number of communities across the nation with a vision of helping all students attain a college degree or certification.
CSP makes this community unique. In economic development, workforce development is the #1 issue. The types of companies we want to attract and retain in McCracken County are the companies who are going to look at this program as not an immediate need of how we fill local jobs, but for generations to come.
The CSP is very important to my family. My mom's a single parent. I have a younger brother and sister who are going to be right after me with college. This has really helped me in my journey take the first steps to my college life, and I just hope the program is there for them when it comes their time and they have the same opportunities.
It's important for the scholarship to continue because this is an investment in Paducah's future. I see, as superintendent of Paducah Public Schools, firsthand our students focus on their future, how to plug into the local economy, and their gratitude for the scholarship opportunity that they otherwise would not have. Thank you.
I just really want to thank all the donors for supporting me.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done.
Thank you.
You've seen our gifts and talents and you want us to utilize them. But it's also important to remember that there are future graduating classes who also need the support of CSP, the families that need the support of CSP. So just continue to believe and support, and thank you for all that you've done for our community.
The future of our community depends on an educated workforce. We have taken on that challenge, and we cannot stop now.